Hi, good morning, good afternoon, everybody. This is Oshunyemi. Um, I would just like to do this video about starting your spiritual journey or your uh, awakened journey, because there is different ways to start it. First of all, there are loads of books that you can refer to on your spiritual journey. The best book I would say is Queen Afua, though it deals with the Egyptian concept, but it is a great book. Like I said, you can go through the gates. It takes you through altar work, takes you through colors. It gives a whole explanation. Another way to start the spiritual journey also is like there are a few groups around, I suppose, like, but you have to, be very savvy with groups because um, there is a lot of fake groups around. So you have to know who you're joining, the reasons why you're joining it, what are you going to get out of it. You have to have a start to begin, an objective. Then you have to have a good mentor. A good mentor will take you through a few things which will help you to get to the so-called level to which you need to be, which you would know because you would know by yourself how long you whether you should stay with the person for long or whether you should continue and get like either work with yourself or get another IE teacher. Another way is through certain practices, Tai Chi, because Tai Chi has loads of different spiritual things too. It also learns you patience, you know, as well. There's yoga. Um, astrology is good, but it all depends on why you're looking into astrology. There's also loads of different, I'll say, sister circles around. Sister circles can also help you to also break your traumas. You make sure you write things down. Writing things down is key. Journaling your feelings, journaling how you feel. If you need to take it any deeper, therefore, right, you can go a little more deeper. Now, as you know, I do Reiki and I also do therapy. So those was the beginning as well into certain things. Not only that, um, I joined a few things as well, um, like being part of the nation did help because you learn discipline, you learn, you know, how to eat properly, um, you learn to center yourself. You also can also learn, like, how to, whatever your calling is, it always comes knocking to you. You don't necessarily need someone to tell you. Some people already have this in them already. um this is through family, because in family, like as I said, ancestry line particularly, some of them have either has been shamans, seers, clairvoyant. So even when you start at the beginning of the journey as well of awakening, I will say, right, you this is already tapped into you already, so therefore you just got to like activate it. So once you activated it, then you can, lead it to the next level. So there are steps to this now. So first of all, right, obviously, right, you find a group. In most cases, you have to find a group. Then some people normally go off by themselves, um, find other stuff, find other things that is linked to who they are, what they're about. Some people find tarot reading. Some people take it as far as, spiritual baths, etc., etc. Secondly, like you have a moment where you're sitting where you are by yourself, because when you're on a journey of spiritualisms, right, you end up mostly by yourself. um it is a lonely journey. You don't have nobody to walk alongside with you most of the time. um it's not a group thing in most cases. Some people who are so-called spiritual, they walk alone. It's not always a journey with loads of people. You find yourself sitting alone reading books, lots of books. You end up reading lots of books. One book lead to another book. You get reference to one book to the other book. Um, if you're around a good bookshop as well, right, the person will be able to tell you what books are aligned with what you're dealing with. There are so-called shorthand books, I will say. Yes, sometimes you can get the dummies book. That even works sometimes. You can get the dummies books. They that will lead you to, like list everything. You're forever writing and listing things, putting things in context and all that. So this is how the journey begins. Now, some people have to do a lot of work on themselves, as I talked about previously. You do the work. You have traumas in your life. Sometimes you have to face them. Traumas can vary of all different levels. So you have to face them. Sometimes you have to go back and face your old stuff, deal with people you don't want to deal with. It's continuous, it's ongoing. It's never ending. You have never reached the levels of Nirvana. If you have, that is very rare. So the next thing also I would say is that you, like I said, you also have to have a mentor, which is one-to-one. Some people can work with a group of three or work with a group of two. The mentor will take you through certain things. Right at present, I'm mentoring someone now. She's now going through a phase where like she is seeing and feeling things now. So you mentor some, right? You go to a mentor. That mentor will take you through what the different phases. It's kind of like, I would say it's kind of like the 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 karate teacher and the student. So you go through different phases, one by one by one by one. Um, some people find it hard to connect with self. Right, at present, my student, she had a bit of problem connecting with herself. Now she is able to connect. She, like I said, she feels things because you get very sensitive. Sometimes it's unexplainable. Like, you're sensitive to everything, especially when you step out, you feel everything. That sensitivity is good because you're actually literally feeling the the nature of things around you. So spiritual journey is not a shortcut by no means. You can be doing it for over 10 years. you can be doing it even longer. Sometimes, like things like diet change. Most cases, you don't have to stop eating meat. Though some people says, yeah, you know, I mean, like you take away little things if you want to. That's all up to the individual. It's not always down to another person saying, okay, you need to get rid of this, get rid of that, because I've met many vegans, and it doesn't mean to say because you are a vegan that you are any more cleaner than others or you're any more enlightened. So I would say that how it's a slow process, you know, it's slow. Also, in most cases, you can get incense, and you know, incense. You learn about different incense, different crystals. It's not a look. Everyone thinks it's a look. It's not a look. It's not a look. Some people wrap their hair, grow locks as well, natural hair. However, I've met a weave person. She was very, very intense as well. She's very intense. She had ESP, so she not only could she see, she can read you. She was very on it. She's a maroon as well, funny enough. So to me, spirituality is not a look. It's not a look at all. Doesn't mean to say you have to change yourself into this bohemian whatever, you know, even though it works for some people. So there is no wrong or right about it. So basically, I'm just on here telling you, basically, once you follow the few steps, right, you would always find your answer naturally yourself, you know, whether you should be in a particular group or whether you shouldn't be in a particular group. Sometimes you would end up by yourself. You initially, just do you, basically. You just do yourself. Some people work better by themselves and they only come out unless they need to access certain information. And like I said, there's loads of information around, there's loads of books around, there's endless books. You can never ever say that how you need to, that there is no information about. Yes, the internet is good, but sometimes it's also good to pick up a hard book and read from scratch, from cover to cover. And I think that's all I can say, really. I can't really stress that the spiritual journey it's not going to be an easy one. So, and you don't just become, I don't say I'm spiritual. I never say, yeah, I'm spiritual, I know it all. It doesn't go like that, because you're always still learning, whether you have a person heading you or not, you're learning anyway, because life is the lesson as well. Yeah, that's all I can say, really. I just thought I'd pop up on here and give a talk about it, because I think everybody have their own opinion or their own experience on different spiritual journeys, or ascensions, however. So there's no wrong or right way about it. It is endless. You can be 60 odd and you're still learning. So with that said, I'm gonna come off here. You can leave a comment underneath, I think I've covered a few things because there's a lot to talk about. I could go deep into one section of subject. I could go through each one by one. So it might be a case of where I will do that, but I'm not going to preach to you and say, oh yeah, you have to do it this way, you have to do it that way, you have to do it this way. Everybody's journey is different. Excuse me, I'm just breathing very heavily now. Every journey is different. There is no wrong or right way about it. You know, it still goes to the same place. You know, there is no you know, this is how it is and this is how is that and that and that and that and you know, so I'm not here to preach to you. I'm just talking how I normally talk. So I'm not here to preach to you and tell you, okay, you've done it wrong. This is the wrong way. No, you're doing it wrong. The only time I would say that is if I see, like I've said, I've been following someone's group or whatever. They've been doing a lot of stuff, and you know, that's the only time I will come on here and say whatever. Oh, this is not right. Da, 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 da. But I'm not going to be the judge and jury because that's your thing. You know, that's for you. That's not for me. So I'm just going to come off of here and then, yeah. So I'm going to come off. I'm not going to linger. It's going to come off before I start waffling. And yeah, just leave a comment so at least like I get an idea of who's listening, etc., etc. And then yeah, we'll just see how it goes. Yeah, I keep saying yeah now. Yeah. So okay then. All right. So have a good day, good afternoon, good night.